Hey guys, how's it going? Before we get into this week's Q&A, I wanted to come on here and let you guys know that we have restocked the Not My Rooster hats and the It's Fine plant tags, and I am so excited to have these in. These we plan to keep in stock in the store forever. This is going to be one of our staple items, the Not My Rooster hat. This is the last order of hats that we're going to be ordering of these, so if you've been wanting one, I suggest jumping on it now. We are doing free shipping on all orders. And plant tags are if you buy 5, you get $15 off of your order, so you get one of these for free basically. So check out the website, visit our garden.blog, and let's get into this week's Q&A. Hey guys, how's it going? I have Miss Ferreira right here. We are back home, back from Ohio. It was such a good trip. It was such a fun trip, and I am so happy to be back home. We had so much fun. I am so exhausted though. So let's get into this week's Q&A. I'm gonna make it short and sweet because I just wanna hang out with Brent for a little while. So we're gonna keep this Q&A probably on the shorter side like I did at Cultivate. We had so much fun. I got to meet so many people. Normally I have Brent here with me to help pull the questions for the Q&A, but he is somewhere else. So we're just gonna do this all by ourselves. So you're gonna see me looking at the computer screen a lot during this one. So last week's video, the first one was the Q&A that I did with Janie, and let's get into questions. I don't know how to sort questions on here. There we go. Whew, I haven't even looked at these questions. I have barely had any time to look at any of the comments this week, and I'm so sorry about that. Usually I try to keep up on comments, but like I said, it's just been a whirlwind. When Janie and I came back, we had been awake for 26 hours. We left Ohio, and it was 6 a.m. Ohio time, and our plane landed and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, California time. As a reminder, that is not my rooster. And then I had a 2-hour drive home. So it was a really long day. And I slept for basically a day and a half. So there were only 3 questions from last week on the first video. And the first one was from Manon. I'm sorry. And they had said, "Hi Robbie, you said that you and Brent live in your outdoor living room. What do you do regarding mosquitoes?" Okay, so personally, I don't deal with mosquitoes. Brent actually deals with mosquitoes really badly. He uses Off, and that is like the only thing that works for him. We have tried every bug spray out there, and Off seems to be the only one that does work for him. He does have to continuously reapply it. I almost never get bit by mosquitoes. I only get bit if he is not out here, and if I'm like out here for a prolonged period of time. So I don't know how to help you with that except for Off. And we do burn citronella candles, and then we do have a candle that one of you guys had sent us that we do light occasionally to help with mosquitoes. So when he's out here, he takes all the precautions: bug spray, candles, citronella, all the things, because he gets absolutely destroyed. The next question on that video is from NLC Pope, and they had said, "Maybe succession release of beneficial insects. Since we plant some things to have continuous harvest, why couldn't you do the same with releasing beneficial insects? Just saying." That is exactly what I think you need to do with the beneficial insects. After talking to those guys in Ohio, the Coppert team, they basically said that you need to succession release insects in your garden. So I was dealing with whiteflies, and I haven't released any more beneficial insects since I did my first initial beneficial insects, and I'm seeing whiteflies coming back, which I didn't know that they would be back. So that is something with beneficials, is that they have to have a food supply so that they can stay around. Otherwise, if there's no food, they're gonna leave. You have to succession release bugs as they come onto your property. Maybe every month or so is what I think that the beneficial, the Nature's Good guys, I think that's what it recommended on their website, was like once a month or something like that. You pay for a subscription plan. So I think that's probably what I need to do, is get a subscription plan of bugs. And the last question on that video was from Deborah, and she had said, "Is everything okay with Janie? There were 2 days last week where she didn't post a video." She is okay. She was just feeling super sick before we were headed to Ohio, and she wanted to make sure to make it to Ohio. So she needed to rest, and she needed to get better. If she hadn't rested and hadn't gotten better, she probably wouldn't have made it to Ohio. So she took a couple days off to feel a little bit better. And then I think when we got back, it all caught up to her, and she really needed a day to rest. I was able to send my videos to Brent and have him edit some of my videos while I was out there. She was having to edit videos, and it would be like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So she just was like getting really run down while we were out there. So I think it all caught up to her when we got back also. The next video that we did was Cultivate behind the scenes, and that was day 1, technically day 0, I guess, because they weren't open to the public quite yet, but Janie and I were able to get in. We had a pass to make it so that we could be there and see all the setup and everything behind the scenes, which was really, really cool. The first question on that video was from Peggy, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, the Monrovia Field Station booth was unreal. Did you suggest to take it off their hands and get the whole display shipped to your house?" Wouldn't that have been amazing? Their display was probably one of the like better displays, and it was amazing. It was phenomenal. They did a really good job. Katie was in charge of that, who is like the one who I normally would talk to, and she blew it out of the water, and that's her goal every year, is to like change it up every year. I guess last year they did like a field or something like that. This year they did like a greenhouse area. So she changes it up every year, and she absolutely killed it this year. And I wish that I could have taken all of that home. That would have been so amazing. The next question on the video is from Christy, and she had said, "Thank you for taking us on this awesome journey. Is your mind working overtime with plans for this spring?" It is working overtime for plans this fall. I have already come up with all of these ideas, especially after the garden tours that I went on. I'm figuring everything out that I need in my life, and it was really cool to see a lot of these plants that I need to add into my garden for this fall and this coming springtime. It's just, I need to plan better is what I need to be doing. And the last question on that video was from Fabric and Flowers, and they had said, "I love the Monrovia booth. What was your favorite booth?" The Monrovia booth was really, really good. I think that one was the most like well done in terms of like all of the plants. That one was really cool. There was one called Terra Nova, and I liked their display. It wasn't like fully compact with plants, but I liked how like vibrant everything was that they brought. So that was really cool to see. And then, there's a brand called Walter's Gardens, which carries Proven Winners plants. They're a Proven Winners distributor. I get very confused on the whole Proven Winners things. So Walter's Gardens, I think that they do like shrubs or something like that, or perennials. I can't quite remember. And their booth was actually really, really like, it was very cozy. It was very cute. It was a small booth, but it was done very nicely too. The next video that we did was New Garden Friends and Cultivate Day 2. You guys, I got to meet so many people on that day, and it was absolutely amazing. That's when it became open to the public, and Janie and I, we showed up. We were there usually like an hour to 2 hours before it opened to the public, just to get in and try to get some like behind the scenes footage, and we were filming stuff for Instagram, and we wanted to be able to walk around and see all the booths. Otherwise, we knew that once it got super crazy, we weren't going to be able to walk around. So we showed up early just to like try to get in and see everything, and it was so much fun. The first question on that video is from the Wayward Irish I Can, and they had said, "Okay, finally have a question for you. Can you recommend a fertilizer for hydrangeas? I have them on my covered front porch, but gets morning sun, and they are healthy, but I know that I should give them a boost, and I'd like to see some flowers now that we are not 118 degrees. Yes, I live west of you and get the weather too." Okay, so Espoma has one. Their line from Espoma is absolutely fabulous. They have a line for hydrangeas, they have a line for citrus, they have lines to make it very, very simple. It's a very great way to like start out in the world of fertilizers, because they have one that has a hydrangea on the bag, they have one that has citrus on the bag, they have one that's a holly tone that you use for evergreens. So Espoma, they have one specifically for hydrangeas. I will put the link to it from Amazon in the description down below. The next question on that video is from Enjoy, and they had said, "Where is this taking place?" This was in Columbus, Ohio, and it was on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I believe part of Tuesday. My days are so mixed up for what days it was. So it was a multi-day event, and it was open to the public. You had to buy tickets. You could buy them at the door. I think that they were like $55 at the door to be able to get in. And then there's an all-access pass, which was a couple $100. That one gets you to all of the classes. There were so many classes that were going on for educational purposes, like how to grow plants. And there were certain things for people that were in the industry of growing plants, like how to better utilize your greenhouse, and things for social media, and all of these different things were there. It was in Ohio, it was open to the public, and we are trying to figure out if we are going to go next year or not, because that was a very exhausting trip. The next question on that video is from Susan, and she had said, "Thank you for sharing with us. Are the plants for sale to the public or just display?" At that time, they were just display, but if you make good connections with some of these companies, at the very end of the show, what they do is they let a lot of people just take whatever they want home, and then anything that doesn't get taken home, they donate to Habitat for Humanity, and the Habitat for Humanity does a massive plant sale. So a lot of the plants end up looking really rough. A lot of these companies, they can't ship them back. The plants just would die anyways, so they donate them, and that way somebody can buy them and get them at a much discounted price and then it goes to a good cause. So you can go to Habitat for Humanity in the Columbus, Ohio area. They had something up on their Instagram for people that were local to be able to buy the plants, and they do it every single year that they do the trade shows. So next year, keep an eye out for that. But you can get your hands on those plants if you start talking to some of those companies while you're out there. They'll, at the very end of the show, the very last day, I think it ends at 1 o'clock or something like that, they will let you come and grab a couple plants. The next question on that video is from Victoria, and she had said, "This is so thrilling to see all my garden celebrity heroes. Jerry and Jenny of Creekside, Matthew of Southerners Northern Garden, Heidi from Garden Crossing, you and Janie, all in one place and meeting face to face. Were you on Garden Cloud 9? Can I come with you next year and carry your stuff and get you coffee?" Oh my gosh. It was definitely Cloud 9. It was a lot of people. And there were a lot more people that were at the show too, that I had talked to and that I had seen online and that I had chatted with online, and I had seen all of their podcasts and their videos and their Instagram stuff. And so it was a real treat to be able to actually see all of these people in person and finally meet them. I was definitely on Cloud 9. I could not pick one person that I was more excited to meet. I got to meet Jim Putnam. He is the nicest person I've ever met. There was a couple times where I was out of my element. You guys know how I love to be in social settings, and he just kind of took me under his wing and was like, "Come on, we're going this way." So he was the nicest person ever, and I had an amazing time. I was definitely on Cloud 9, and you can come next year to Cultivate. I'm not sure if I'm going to go next year though, because that was 24 hours of traveling. It was too much traveling for me, but we may go next year. I say that now because I just got back. And the last question on that video is from GJM, and they had said, "I love watching Matthew. His last home garden was amazing. Robbie, did you work the Monrovia booth?" Matthew's garden, his new garden is so stunning too. His last one, I wish that I had seen it. Janie got to see it last year when she went to Cultivate. I wish that I had gotten the chance to see it. His new one is just as beautiful. And I did not work the Monrovia booth. I didn't work anybody's booth. I was just there to socialize and meet people and talk with some of these brands and see what was coming out and meet a lot of these companies and get to see some of the new plants for 2025. And oh man, they were good. The next video that we did was plant shopping thousands of miles away from home, 2,300 miles away. That was a lot of miles. That garden center was so spectacular, and so many of you guys had said that you guys go there and that is your garden center, and I see why. The prices were not that bad. The statuary was unbeatable price-wise, and it was just absolutely stunning, and the people there were so nice. The first question on that video is from Jill, and she had said, "I think you found your paradise. When you film at places like this, do you ask if they mind before you do? Not that that would be a law or anything, just out of consideration." If I am somewhere new, I definitely try to ask every single time. Here I asked, I want to be considerate. If they don't want me to film, I don't film. Or if they can't give me a definite answer of yes or no, I still will film. So I had gone one time when I was going down to Monrovia. I stopped at that nursery and the owners weren't there, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys care if I film?" And they couldn't, the people that were working were like, "Oh, we don't know. Just if you want to film your video, film it, and we'll have the owners call you back if they have an issue with it." And I never got a call back, so I posted the video. But this place right here, I talked to a manager. I actually talked to two managers, and they were both like, "Yeah, please film, go ahead," which I don't see why anybody wouldn't want you to film a video promoting their garden center. I have never had anybody tell me no, but I do ask just out of consideration. The next question on that video was from Elaine, and she had said, "How about some fairy garden items for Janie's kids?" I thought about that when I was on the plane. I was on the plane and I was like, why didn't I get stuff for Janie's kids? All the fairy garden stuff. That was some of the coolest fairy garden stuff, and I didn't pick up any of it. And the last question on that video was from a friend, and they had said, "Oh my word, I would never leave. I'm so jealous. Where were the people? I only saw one other person. Why is it not filled with people? I would be broke as I saw so many things I would get. Wish I had a place like that near me." Okay, so that place was actually very packed. When I go plant shopping, I try really hard to not film people. So I'll wait, I'll stand somewhere for like 5-10 minutes and I'll let people pass through because I'm the inconvenience in the situation and not everybody wants to be filmed and I don't want to be a nuisance at a garden center or annoy somebody who doesn't want to be on camera. So I try to wait for people to pass by so I don't get them in the shot, or if I do get them in the shot, they'll be very far in the distance so you can't really tell who they are or anything like that. I try really hard to do that because if I was somewhere and I was just trying to plant shop and somebody had a camera out and was being annoying and chatting, I would try to steer clear of them. So that's what I do. I just think it's the respectful thing to do. So that place was packed. There were a lot of people there. And there were a lot of people there with very, very full carts too. It was really funny. You'll actually see at the end of that video, the outro that I have cuts short because there was somebody walking up behind me as I was finishing saying goodbye to you guys. So I just cut it short really quick because she had 2 kids and I don't want to put kids on the cameras or anything like that. So I tried to be very respectful, and it's hard when places are very full like that. The next video that we did was Monica's garden, and oh my gosh, her garden was so gorgeous. It was a mix between formality and cottage garden and a little bit of everything and carefree. I got so much inspiration from that garden. I fell in love with her garden and what she does it. She does it right, and she does it right on accident. She said that there was no rhyme or reason, and she doesn't plan any of it. It just kind of happens that way. And whatever she is doing 100% correct. The next question on that video is from Carla, and she had said, what a treat to see this, Robbie. You said you got so much inspiration from her. What will be the first thing that you do? I need pathways. I have to have those pathways now. I'm really good at doing a straight long pathway in my garden, but I need meandering pathways and I need you to be able to be pulled around a corner in the garden. And she does a really good job at pulling you around the corner and making you continue through her entire garden. So that is the plan this fall time at some point. The next question on that video is from Nita, and she had said, really love the perfect curved path. How did she make it so perfect? I love the garden. It looks so big. I would love to do a path like that, but no one would help me. She says that she just kind of freehands all of her pathways. So everything that she does just kind of happens naturally, and then she keeps them edged. She only uses the electric trimmer twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. And then after that, she goes in by hand and hand trims her edges because she doesn't want the grass clippings to get into the beds, which is so smart because we do our beds and there's grass clippings absolutely everywhere. So she is a very dedicated gardener and keeps everything trimmed up and tidied by hand. The last question on that video is from Marcia, and she had said, what a nice yard. I may have missed it, but is she on a drip system? She is on drip irrigation. She has everything set up to drip irrigation, so she does not have to worry about it when she goes out of town. There's dog hair on my computer. So yes, she is on irrigation. She has a couple things that she said weren't on irrigation. And her grass isn't on irrigation either. That is all just hand watered or from rain that they get, which, oh my gosh, I cannot believe the amount of rain that they get out there. That's just crazy. We don't see rain for months. Janie and I were like, what is this? What is happening? What is rain? So yeah, she's on irrigation. She has everything all set up to make it that much easier. Irrigation is the key. Hi. And the last video that we did for the week was me tagging along with Janie and highlighting some of my favorite booths. And there were some really good booths there. There were some really good, there was a lot that I didn't even get to feature, and there were still some booths that I didn't even get to see. I walked the event multiple times, and it's just that big that I did not get to see every single thing. It was crazy. It was so cool though. And then I got to go see Matthew's garden, and I got to tag along for another garden that you guys will have to wait. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. You guys got to see a little tidbit of it. I'm not telling you whose garden it is because it was that good, and her garden it's primo. It's really cool, and there's some really cool little hidden features about her garden. There's a lot to come on Janie's channel about that garden, so I can't give anything away. The first question on that video was from GJM, and they had said, what did you think of Matthew's fountain? It was stunning. It's huge, it's gorgeous. I love the big basin that they have down below. That is the type of fountain that I absolutely need to get my hands on. How I'm gonna get my hands on it, I don't know. But that's the fountain that I want, something like that. I want something tall with a big basin on it, or the one that I saw at the plant shop. The next question on that video is from Mimi, and they had said, what is the name of Matthew's show? It is the Southerner's Northern Garden. He is on YouTube and he is on Instagram. I will link those down below, and I think that they were linked in the description of that video also. And the last question on that video was from Judy, and she had said, are you ever going to be able to find Matthew's kind of property in California? If you do, would you ever be able to afford it? I'm thinking a land price in California are astronomical. Yeah. So his property, if I were to find it in California, the lot size, 5 acres with a house that nice and a pool and a shop, we're probably looking at a couple million. So no, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford that in California unless I came across something that was for somehow like a repossessed property or a condemned property or something like that. We could build our own, but I don't know if I would ever be able to actually afford a property like that. That's why property is so much cheaper out there, though, is because it's so humid and hot and sticky and wet. And I'm in California and I am outside and it's 10 o'clock and I'm not sticky and I'm not wet and I can be in the shade. So I will stick with my astronomical prices of teeny tiny property because I don't know how you guys do the humidity, and I'm so sorry that I ever was like 90 degrees. What are you guys talking about? I hate 90 and humidity. I love 114. So no, I don't think I will ever be able to afford a property like that. I mean, maybe one day. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Maybe when I win the lottery. So that is going to be it for this video, you guys. I had so much fun in Ohio, and I'm so glad that I was able to take you guys along with me and introduce you guys to a show that you guys had never seen before. And maybe next year we can all get together in Ohio now that you guys know what it's all about. So I enjoyed the video. I enjoyed this video. I enjoyed all the videos, and the amount of people that I got to meet and the amount of you guys that showed up that I also got to meet was it was a breath of fresh air. And every time that you guys see me in public, please say hi. Please say hi to me. It really just warms my heart, and I have to tell you, Jamie and I talk about it every single time that somebody says hi to us in a public space. It gives us butterflies. So thank you guys for coming along with me for this Q&A. Thank you for visiting our garden, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.